Good morning, everybody listening in the capital city area on 107.3 FM. Good to have you guys with us. Everybody watching on our YouTube channel, be sure to go to the Jaguar Journal YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. Good to have you guys with us. And everybody on our Facebook Live, glad to have you guys with us as well. Very special guest here in the studio, because if you see her sitting right here next to me, it is the mayor of Baton Rouge, Sharon Weston Broome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you with us.
It's good to be here. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. I saw you speaking with the Southern University football team, giving them some words of encouragement.
Yes.
They just won the SWAC West. Southern soccer team, women's soccer
I
team,
know.
for the first time ever, winning the SWAC Women's Tournament Championship.
That's
What's
right.
your thoughts? There's some good things happening, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just the Jaguar Nation is doing it. You know, we had the women's soccer team down at the council meeting to honor them. I went out to the football field to celebrate our football team and tell them, we want them to win in the Bayou Class. They're champions. What can I say?
Yeah.
Champions. And now the SWAC tournament. So we got a lot of positive things going on at the Bluffs and beyond.
Listen, you are now in this runoff in the mayor's race, and friends, so people around, we have conversations, and we was looking at all the names, and we was like, you think this person's going to win? You think this person's going to win? How is this thing going to turn out? And it just turned out we're down to two candidates, and one of the opponents in the race was Ted James, and just recently he has come out to endorse you. Now, I have to say, I think most of us, especially in the black community, we was like, man, how is this going to turn out with the friendship? Is it a rivalry? I didn't know what was going to happen, but it's good to see you guys come together. He has endorsed you, and I think most of all, that's how you move the city forward, no matter the differences in opinions and thoughts, that at the end of the day, you come together and say, it's bigger than me, it's bigger than you, it's about the citizens, it's about the people, and I'm glad that it's come together right here. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I said election night, Ted ran a formidable campaign. And I also said election night is time for the family to come together. And so we did have a conversation following the election. And, we both decided we're not going to rehearse the past, who said what to whom, but we are going to focus on the future and how can we move our city forward, because it's a lot at stake here. And I want to thank him for his endorsement, and I hope that his supporters are now my supporters. But more importantly, his supporters, my supporters, we're all supporters of Baton Rouge and wanting to see Baton Rouge move forward and not backwards.
Let's talk about Baton Rouge moving forward, right? You have been around in the mayor's spot for a while now. What is your perspective and your vision to move this city forward for any listeners that are out there who may still be shaky on, I don't know who to vote for, I don't know which side to go to? Hearing it from the mayor now, what does the next 4 years look like under your leadership?
The next 4 years under the Broome leadership looks like a transformative time for our city and parish. We've already invested in North Baton Rouge with projects like Howell Place. We've invested millions of dollars in infrastructure. But, Perry, I realize that when you're dealing with disinvestment that has taken place for over years, that you've got to really focus on investing in those areas. And so I want to continue to uplift the entrepreneurial spirit that exists in North Baton Rouge and South Baton Rouge. I want to make sure that our potential entrepreneurs understand the procurement process. So we're going to have some very specific seminars and information gatherings around that. Because while we now have over 25% DBE, disadvantaged business enterprises, in city parish government, investing over $55 million now with minority, women, veteran, and small businesses, I want to see that number elevate. I want to see more folks thrive and prosper. That's why I gave Southern University $150,000 and LSU $150,000 for their School of Businesses, because I want them to carve out an entrepreneurial ecosystem, and they started the work in that.
Can I get $150,000 for my entrepreneurial ecosystem? I understand. But listen, I always look back in the past, and your two terms, and this is coming up on a possible third
and final.
Third, you're done.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
looking back at the two, I always ask when you compare and contrast, what do you think you could do better moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
just as the mayor? And what have you learned? Because being a mayor is a totally different role, right? And for you, what have you learned not only about yourself being in that leadership role of an entire parish and city, but in terms at the same time, just getting better as a
Hmm.
mayor?
Yeah, I've learned as a mayor that you have to surround yourself with people who not only have the credentials, but who have the chemistry and who are aligned with
Hmm.
your vision. You have to, um, as I guess I would call myself an elder in the community.
You just seasoned, you well
Season, I like
seasoned,
that's the
yeah.
word I was looking for. I want to empower um, people on their journey.
Hmm.
It's not all about Sharon Weston Broome. It's about, okay, I see this person with talent. How can I be a part of empowering them and lifting them up?
Hmm.
Um, at the same time, though, people have to be single focused on the mission at hand. And our mission at hand in city parish government is responding to the 440 plus thousand individuals that we have an opportunity to change their lives. So I'm looking forward to strengthening the fabric of folks who are part of um, our employee base in city parish government, especially in our senior leadership space. That's one thing I've recognized that we could improve on is the staffing. The other thing, Perry, that I could have improved on is the communication. Now
Hmm.
that's really ironic because I'm a communicator. I have 2 degrees in communication. I know how to communicate.
Uh-huh.
But I'm the type of person that's like one of my mantras is work hard, stay humble.
Hmm.
But in this field that I'm in, you've got to have an information flow to the people all the time.
Yeah.
Because during the campaign, I had people come up and say, like, what have you done in 8 years? And then it makes me, like, what? Because I know we've been working. And I know, as one young lady said, we have the receipts
Hmm.
of the work that we've been doing, whether it's been Move EBR, whether it's been navigating through COVID, whether it's been affordable housing in disinvested communities, whether it's been establishing the first supplier division process in the history of Baton Rouge. You see, there are a lot of historic things that have even happened in my administration that haven't happened
Hmm.
in the history of Baton Rouge. And so, to me, those things are game changers in and of itself. But if I may, Perry, I've got to say there is a stark contrast between Sharon Weston Broome and my present opponent.
Hmm.
Now we're on a sports show, so you tell me this, and I'm not in the sports chair. I'm not a sports journalist, but I know a little bit.
What's up?
So if you have an 0-25 record as a coach, the likelihood of you being promoted is not too strong. Am I right with that, Perry, or
Uh,
no?
You're all right.
Okay.
Hmm.
I had somebody tell me the other day, in some spaces, the likelihood of you having an 0-3 it might not get you promoted.
Most coaches don't make it to 0-25. Okay, once you get to you probably
Yeah.
don't even get a chance to see that.
Yeah. So, my opponent
Hmm.
has not voted in 8 years and has missed 25 elections.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden, I want to be the mayor. And so I say that because it's real serious, especially for us in the African American community that always emphasizes the need for our people to go out and vote.
Hmm.
It's extremely important because we recognize the trials, tests, and tribulations that we have gone through to get the right to vote.
Hmm.
And so to say, I'm sitting this out for 25 times, I don't think that sits well with the average person
Hmm.
who understands the significance of participating in the democratic process.
You talking about participating in the democratic process? Were you shocked when you saw the final results and now into the runoff? I gotta ask, honestly, were you shocked?
I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked. But I will tell you, I think we all had, many of us, I won't say all, but many of us, for example, had different expectations
Mm-hmm.
of what was going to happen on the federal level.
Yeah. Everybody watching on our YouTube channel, hey, hit that subscribe button if you tuned in this morning. Love to have you a supporter. And everybody watching on our Facebook Live, man, I have thoroughly enjoyed today's guest right here, the mayor of East Baton Rouge, Sharon Weston Broome. Let's talk about this as we continue to move forward with the conversation. Election day is coming
Yeah.
up. Southern has made it to the SWAC championship in football. And although it is victorious and it is
Yeah.
glorious and all of these wonderful words I can keep going with, it
Yes.
falls on an election day. So
Yes.
let's talk about the importance
Yeah.
and you putting out the word, regardless of what side people want to vote on, just the fact that as you talked about getting out to vote
Yes.
and what should they do
Yes.
if it becomes a conundrum on what should I do and how do I do it.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, this is a great weekend to go out and vote.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great weekend for the students. And I know that our football team and I believe our band will be in town this weekend. So I want to encourage them to go ahead and go out and vote because you're right. We got a lot of celebrations going on. Let me just break it down. Early voting started yesterday and goes through the 30th. But Thursday is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy gobble gobble.
Yeah, it's gonna and the polls will be closed
Mhm.
Friday. I believe the polls will be closed as well. I need to confirm that
Okay.
they will be closed on Friday as well. So then Saturday is Go Bayou Classic,
Mhm.
right? Which is another day you can vote. But when people are getting ready for the Bayou Classic, they're gonna be down there. Some of them Friday and Saturday.
Me.
And yeah, and Saturday is an election day. I mean,
Uh-huh.
it is a day that we might miss because folks are at the Bayou
Yeah.
Classic.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final day to vote is December 7th. And we're expecting our Jaguars to go get the SWAC championship on that day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling and encouraging everybody before you get caught up in the celebrations and the holiday, go out and vote. Go vote today.
Yeah.
Go out. In fact, there's a stroll to the polls today for
Okay.
the Divine Nine.
All right.
Yeah, so if you're part of the Divine Nine, join that strolls to the polls.
I like that.
And there are other folks that are coming together to go and vote together. So I just want to encourage everybody. Today can be a big, outstanding day. My message to everyone is let's early vote and let's wrap it up.
I like that. Listen, I know sometime you and I've been keeping up what's happening in Jackson, Mississippi. They got some issues up that way. And I know you normally do a kind of like a little rivalry thing with that mayor, but I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be nothing this year. You just let him have it. But I just want I understood in the past that you guys have kind of had a
we
little
did.
You let him be these days. Let him be. Stay away from him, okay? Listen, moving forward, all right. Last thing for you, as you have the ears of the listeners across the capital city area, and we got people that listen from all over. We get Harlem, New York right here,
Oh,
St.
wonderful.
Petersburg, Dallas,
Great.
Chicago. There are people out there. So if they have family members and friends who are right here and say, hey, I was
Mhm.
listening to the mayor this morning, call in and say, hey, man, maybe you should consider that. What would be your final message out there talking about your previous 2 terms and now moving forward for you to reel in those voters who can get out there today and put your name on that ballot?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for their support over the past 8 years. And I believe that the final 4 years will be our best years in the Broome administration and for the city of Baton Rouge. I hear a lot from individuals when I talk, and one young lady recently said to me, I want a mayor who's going to show up for me.
Okay, now.
And you have showed up for me. And I humbly received that.
Mhm.
I have showed up for this city time and time again because I love Baton Rouge. The next 4 years, we can look forward to building prosperity through our economic development, continuing to revitalize underserved communities, improve our workforce training, and increase funding. So I'm asking everyone to go out and reelect your mayor president who shows up for you. This is the final 4 for your mayor, and let's work together to make Baton Rouge the best community possible.
Is being mayor exciting to have power to be able to go places and everybody's grabbed because, a lot of people these days, they want the fame, and sometimes fame is kind of it overlaps what you consider what comes with it is wealth. But with this position, there is power and there is fame when you go out, no matter if it's on black or white. But for you, how does that feel to be able to be in that position of mayor?
Well, for me, it's never been about the power. It's never been about the authority. I learned a long time ago, Perry, that in this role, it's about being a public servant.
Mm-hmm.
And that at the end of the day, it's not a title, it's not the power, it's not the position, but it's your genuine and authentic care for humanity that really measures your greatness.
And I like that because I graduated in political science. And so, what turned me was that whole, at that time, I was a marine biology major. Then I switched over because we was growing up in a time which Barack Obama, with his grassroots, basically campaign, it started to attract me more because of the community I grew up in. There was not much in terms of a relationship of politics. And I became curious why my side of town or why certain things looked the way that it did, and I go somewhere. And I realized I had no understanding on how the world of politics worked. I didn't have any understanding in terms of policy and anything else. And so I became interested to learn the world because I realized if I don't stand up and make a change for the world that's around me, am I just going to sit back and wait on somebody else to do it for me? So when you talked about being a public servant, that's going out and listening to those who may feel like no one is listening. That's going out and seeing those who feel like nobody cares and being able to say, hey, I care, I have an ear, and because I'm in this position and the role that I'm in, I'm going to come out and do the best that I can to help you because oftentimes there's a portion of the population who feels forgotten about, feels unheard, and it's good to have a mayor that is running again, which say the Final Four, to say, I have not forgotten, because I think when we look in Baton Rouge, there's oftentimes that people do feel like there's a portion of the population that has been forgotten about.
Yeah, I'm a public servant, not a perfect servant,
Mm-hmm.
but I assure you that at the heart of everything I do, is about the people.
And that's what it's all about, the people. And that's why I wanted to have you on this morning, for the people to hear and understand what it is that you do, why you do it, and why you're choosing to do 4 more years, because clearly it's not about the power. It's not about the position, but this is something that you love. This is something that you really want to get out there and do, because there is a city out there in need of good leadership, great leadership. And as you said before, nobody's perfect. With things, it comes ups and downs. It's all about how you manage those. And when you said it earlier, surrounding yourself with the best people who will be able to help you manage that situation. I like that best. And for you, last words out there about the voting and for people to vote, why they should vote for Sharon Weston Broome.
Once again, early voting started yesterday. Please go out and vote today. And remember, as you go forward, we have had significant successes and achievements, and your mayor president wants to be reelected so she can finish the job that I started.
That is the voice of Sharon Weston Broome, your current mayor, and she's looking for 4 more years. So we're going to get that 4 more years. She said the Final Four. I like that. And we got to get that on the shirt with your face, the Final Four.
Yeah.
All right, what you throwing up? You got to throw up the foes like this, though, Mayor. Yeah, you got to throw
I like that.
You like that? We got to get you 4 more. So I appreciate you for coming on this morning. As always, it is an honor and a privilege to be able to have a conversation with you to talk about this city. I'm a person who is not from here, but because I moved here, Baton Rouge is now my home, and I look forward to seeing 4 more years out of you, and I hope the people get out there and do what they need to do and vote. Hey, everybody, we are at the top of the hour. I want to thank Sharon Weston Broome for coming in, the mayor of East Baton Rouge, for talking to us and being able to push forward her campaign.